Webcams, there's hundreds of them. You can't pick one, I got you. And we're back, DLG fam. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to all the new viewers. Bienvenidos a todos al canal de LG. Al fin regresó mi voz. Yes, finally guys, I got my voice back. I know I told you guys before, but I just wanted to make sure that I did get it back. Like, oh, yeah, it's right there. Just kidding, guys. So guys, I did say webcam, right? There's hundreds of them out there, but I got a specific webcam that will leave all of them in the dust. So what am I talking about? Bam! The OBSBOT Tiny 2 4K webcam. That's right, guys. So this camera right here is the Tiny 2. And I know I did a video on the tail air and also the little brother of the Tiny 2, which is the Tiny 2 Lite. I'll leave a link on the top of the video to each one of those reviews so you could check them out and see which camera suits you best. But for the time being, we're going to unbox the Tiny 2, check out what it looks like, put it to the test, and let you guys know if it's worth that price tag of $329. And right now it's actually on sale on their website for $299. So let's go to the unboxing, guys, and see what this puppy can do. All right, guys, there it is, the OBSBOT Tiny 2 4K webcam. Let's check out what this camera looks like and put it to the test. So this camera will set you back, as mentioned before, $329. Right now it's on sale for $299 on the OBSBOT website. Let's be gentle with this. Always got to cut away, and I accidentally cut towards me, but let's see right here. Okay, so you get a little QR code here. More than likely this is to tell you what the camera is about. Let's see what comes in here. You get the user manual in various languages. Obviously, it's not as extensive as you would think it would be because the OBSBOT cameras are actually pretty straightforward and easy to use. And remember, guys, all of the three OBSBOT cameras, the tail air, the Tiny 2, and the Tiny 2 Lite, have gesture controls. So, as mentioned before, manual, warranty policy, and a notice that tells you what the voice controls are. So you got Hi Tiny, you could wake it up with your voice. That's pretty cool right there. Sleep Tiny enters into sleep mode. Track Me, turn on human tracking. Hey, this is a feature I had not noticed before on the Tiny 2 Lite or the tail air. Instead of doing the whole gesture with your hand like this and like this and like this, you're able to give it instructions on what to do. Track me, unlock me, zoom in closer, zoom out further, position 1, position 2, position 3. These right here are presets. Flip it around, that's in another language. All right, so let's go ahead and put this away and see what else comes in here. Hard shell case, that's pretty neat right there. The tail air comes with a hard shell case. The Tiny 2 comes with a hard shell case, but the Tiny 2 Lite does not. That's one of the differences that you will notice between the packaging on those two items. So let's see this right here. Hey! Oh, okay, this fell out. All right, let's put that to the side real quick. Look at that right there, guys. Here is the Tiny 2, and I will bring out the Tiny 2 Lite, its little brother, to show you guys what it looks like. All right, so you do get the two little dots here, which are the microphones, and a mounting area for the actual part that goes on your tripod or on top of your monitor. And that part would actually be this one right here. The camera actually mounts magnetically on here, so let's figure this out how this goes. And okay, so the camera actually goes on this part here, as so. There you go, you heard that click. That's how it goes mounted, and bam, that's how you put it on top of your monitor. You're able to give it a little bit of an incline right there, and this will adjust to wherever you are located within the frame of the camera itself. You get a USB-C port on the back side right there. Let's go ahead and set this to the side. This is pretty neat, guys. And it also features a status light, as you guys can see right there. This status light is also featured on the tail air. That right there will let you know what the camera is actually doing as far as recording goes, or any of the commands that you give it to do, like gesture control. All right, so what else comes in the box? You also get this USB-C cable, which is a USB-C to USB-C on the other end. And what else comes in this little packaging right here? Let's go ahead and take that out. All right, let's see right here. More than likely, this is going to be a USB-C adapter. That's what it is. So it's a USB-A to USB-C adapter, just in case you don't have an extra port on your PC. That's all that comes inside the box for the Tiny 2. And I will discuss with you the specs of the camera itself before we put it to the test. This camera does feature an ultra-large 1/1.5 inch CMOS sensor. It is 4 times faster at focusing, and it has AI tracking with auto zoom. It also features dynamic gesture control, as I mentioned before, and voice control. The dimensions of this camera are 47 by 44 by 62.02 millimeters. Camera by itself weighs 95.6 grams, include the mount, and it weighs 143.3 grams. The image sensor is a 1/1.5 inch CMOS sensor. The effective pixels is 50 megapixels. The aperture is 1.9. The field of view in depth is 85.5 degrees at a 4:3 ratio. The field of view in height is 72.9 degrees. The equivalent focal length is 26 millimeters. The minimum focus distance is 10 centimeters. So guys, the video resolution on this camera itself is pretty impressive. It can do 3840 by 2160 at 30, 29.97, 25, 24, 20, and 15 frames per second. At 1920 by 1080, it can do 60, 59.94, 50, 30, 29.97, 25, 24, 20, and 15. That's 8 different frames per second at 1080p. That's pretty good, guys, because I don't know if there's that many people that use 4K. I do use 4K, but let me know down in the comments below, which method would you guys use, 4K or 1080p? Now, it can also do 720. That's 1280 by 720 at 60, 59.94, 50, 30, 29.97, 25, 24, 20, and 15 frames per second. So it can do the same frames per second at 1080p and 720. Now the YUV, it can do 3840 by 2160 at 15 frames per second, 1920 by 1440 at 30, 25, 24, 20, and 15 frames per second. It can also do 1920 by 1080 at 30, 25, 24, 20, and 15 frames per second. It can also do 1280 by 960 at 60, 30, 25, 24, 20, and 15 frames per second. Additionally, it can also do 720p, 1280 by 720 at 30, 25, 24, 20, and 15 frames per second. 640 by 480 at 60, 30, 25, 24, 20, and 15 frames per second. Man, guys, this thing has a lot of resolutions that it actually covers. And the last one under YUV would end up being 640 by 360 at 60, 30, 25, 24, and 15 frames per second. That's an extensive list, guys. So for H.264, it does 3840 by 2160 at 30, 29.97, 25, 24, 20, and 15. 1920 by 1080p, 60, 59.94, 50, 30, 29.97, 25, 24, 20, and 15 frames per second. Guys, this list of video resolutions is extensive. That's insane. And last but not least, 1280 by 720 at 60, 59.94, 50, 30, 29.97, 25, 24, 20, and 15 frames per second. All right, guys, that's it for the resolutions. The zoom is 1/4x. The focus, and this actually has autofocus and manual focus, and it does support HDR. The 2-axis gimbal is non-removable. If you do that, you're gonna ruin the camera. The control range is pan plus or minus 140 degrees. The tilt is 30 to 70 degrees. The mechanical range is a pan of plus or minus 150 degrees, a tilt of plus or minus 90 degrees. The maximum control speed is 120 degrees per second. That's pretty quick. Now, as far as the audio goes, guys, this camera does have built-in dual omnidirectional mics with noise reduction. Guys, it can't get any better than that for this webcam. And it does have noise reduction and auto gain control. This camera is compatible with Windows 10 or later, as well as Mac OS 11 or later. So let's go ahead and install this, put it to the test, and see how good or how bad does it actually perform. Oh yeah, so let me just show you guys real quick the Tiny 2 Lite. Check it out, guys. Here's the little brother, the Tiny 2 Lite. Look at this right here, guys. This is the little brother, guys, the Tiny 2 Lite. I know it doesn't appear to be as if it was smaller. Look at the difference on the actual lens. The Tiny 2 Lite does appear to have a bigger lens. I'll leave a link on top of the video so you guys could check out the review on the Tiny 2 Lite. Let's go ahead and set up the Tiny 2. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and mount the OBSBOT Tiny right here on top of my monitor, as you guys can see right there. Let's go ahead and get this booted up. Here's the software itself. It will auto detect. I will show you guys in a bit. All right, guys, check it out. This is the actual video. The audio is coming through my mic right now. We are going to switch over to the Tiny 2's microphone so you guys can see and listen to the way this actual webcam performs. So I just want to touch base real quick as to what video format it covers. I know I touched base on it on the overview, but now you would actually get to physically see on the screen as to what video formats it's compatible with. So it is compatible with 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p, 60 frames, 1080p, 30 frames, 720, 60 frames, and 720 at 30 frames per second. So now let me show you what it actually looks like when you're recording. Now you're seeing the actual video at 1080p, 30 frames per second with the audio that's being captured through the Tiny 2 webcam. Let me know down in the comments below, how well do you guys think it actually looks at 1080p, 30 frames per second? And what do you guys think about the audio quality? We are gonna go ahead and touch base on the functionality of the camera itself via the software. So we're gonna go ahead and try out the 4K format. Remember guys, 4K does put a dent on your system, and the performance really depends on how good of a machine you actually have. And as far as the processor goes, the RAM, and so on, you guys already know that when it comes to the actual requirements of the camera, or any device that you're actually plugging into your PC, if you do try to bump it up to the 4K mode, it's going to take a hit. So let's try it out right now. All right, there it is. You see guys, it says 4K recording requires high computer performance and may cause video stuttering. Please choose appropriate resolution according to your computer configurations. I'm still running this old dinosaur i5 processor from back in 2020 when this whole world went upside down with, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna discuss that. There you go. You guys are watching it in 4K, 30 frames per second. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And also guys, it's still continuing to capture all the audio through the omnidirectional mics located on the bottom of the actual webcam. So let's go ahead and try the gesture controls now. But first, let's go ahead and turn off the actual 4K recording. All right, so let's switch back to 1080p. 60 frames per second, or we were at 30 frames per second, and there we go, 30 frames per second right there. All right, so now let's try the gesture control. Put your hand up. That turns on auto tracking. Let's try out the actual function. Look at that right there, guys. That has the auto tracking on, so if I stand up, that's right, following me, right? I don't like that. I don't like people following me around. All right, guys, so now we're gonna try the actual commands for the voice control. Let's turn it off with voice control. Sleep tiny. All right, guys, so now we're going to go ahead and try out the voice controls, and the camera's currently off, so we're gonna give it the command to turn on. Hi, tiny. Ta-da, there we go. Look at that. Hi, tiny. What's up, man? All right, so that worked. And to put it to sleep mode, you just say sleep tiny. There you go, it goes into sleep mode. Hi, tiny. To turn on human tracking, you actually just tell it track me, and because the tracking is already on, you just say turn it off. You say unlock me. Unlock me. That right there actually turns off human tracking. Now for the zoom feature, you just say zoom in closer. That's too close for comfort, guys. So now to actually make it go back, zoom out further. There we go, that's more comfortable. Okay, so that's actually the voice controls. So that's pretty good right there. Position 1, that will change it to position 1. I don't have any of those presets set up just yet, but there you have it, guys. That's the actual voice control. I did show you that one gesture to turn on human tracking, which is to put up your hand and open it up. That will turn on human tracking. And to do the gesture control, the zoom, you do the L, that zooms in. You do it again. That zooms out. To do the dynamic zoom, you actually do 2 L's. You spread out to zoom in, and to zoom out, you actually put your hands together. And there you have it, guys. Gesture control, voice control, 4K. What else can you ask for? And let's touch base real quick on the software. Here you can see everything that it actually can do. It has AI human tracking from the software itself. Obviously, you're already able to tell it with the voice control on what to do. You got standard, motion, normal tracking. You got the upper body tracking, and also close up, headless, and lower body. So that's pretty good right there, guys. The OBSBOT software does have a lot of actual customizing features for the cameras that OBSBOT sells. The Tail Air, the Tiny 2, the Tiny 2 Lite, and I'm pretty sure there's a new one out already. The Meet 2, I believe it is. And let's go ahead and continue with this. AI mode, desk mode, whiteboard, hand, and group. All right, another neat feature, you're actually able to use that camera like this. That way, if you're trying to show some type of document or you're doing something on your desk, you're able to use it in that manner. So another neat feature that this does have, it has all the 3 presets that I told you guys already about, and it does have the manual gimbal control, the manual zoom, as you guys can see right here. You're actually able to zoom in ×4, and yeah, that's a little too close for comfort. Let's zoom that back out. And there we go. You're able to change from wide, medium, and narrow. And the image, autofocus mode, global or face exposure. Look at all these customizable options that this software actually has for the OBSBOT cameras. This software or these features can be used across the OBSBOT webcams. And beauty, I did show you guys this before. You're able to do the blur effect for the background, and also you're able to adjust the way your face actually looks, your body and makeup as well. So if you want to touch up your actual video before you start your conference, you're able to do that through these options right here located on the software itself. Under more, auto sleep, sleep timer, you're able to do the sleep background. You're able to adjust it here, do a preset one or a custom one. Gesture control, lock target, zoom, dynamic zoom. Basically, you're able to customize the camera to your liking via the software itself. So let me know down in the comments below if you think you're gonna be picking up the OBSBOT Tiny 2, the OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite, or the big boy, the Telair. Alright guys, there it is, the Tiny 2 by OBSBOT. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think about this camera? Guys, it's so hot up here, I kid you not. And I just got a message from Home Depot that they don't have the air conditioning unit available. Yes, I was trying to put an additional one because it's just too hot up here. But unfortunately, that did not work out. But if you do pick up one of these webcams, come back to the video and let me know what you guys think. I will leave a link in the description down below for the Tiny 2, the Tiny 2 Lite, or the Telair. And if you do get one, come back to the video. Let me know what you guys think of it. So if you're a dad, woo, a gaming dad looking for your next webcam to be able to step up your stream game or your content creating game, don't forget to check out my latest video. But till next time, this is Hot. I'm Tech. Peace out. I got so many webcams now, I could use one for every day of the week.